Alright, there we are. Let's mute sound. Alright. So, today looking back at workshop and seeing how I can improve with the help of the community. And especially with a good friend of mine, Black Armor. We've done quite a bit of talking the last few weeks, so that was good. And well, we needed to do some projects other than self-contained and thinking inside the box, and instead using each other's wit. There we are then. Space Engineers Beta. And well, out here I'll just fly around on my most recent projects, of which one is a Carrack. We have some cargo container pod things, which I'm probably almost done with. Currently in the stage of painting. And I first did of course the grimy colors, the stuff that you would see underneath, so if I miss any painting spots, this will be the color that will stay there. And each have of course the function to demerge from its cargo body and become just a regular small little pod, which we can reverse the landing gears off. Hey. But that's not that complex, although it was quite a bit of fitting in blocks to get this to work. And of course these are, well, thrusters for looks, but mostly of course for the function of landing gear. So when you're not flying or not having a pod which would house a normal landing gear, like over here, we still have our little rotating things. Right. And over there I think is an old version. Yeah, it's for before painting. And probably I'll paint them off the live stream tonight and just add them on the workshop, because they're pretty much done. Alright, Carrack, you're okay. And of course here we have the beginnings of a caterpillar that you might have seen last time around. With of course the... oh, it's upside down. With the big cargo doors on the side. Still silly landing gear placeholders. And a unfinished back body. But from a distance this is already pretty much like it would become. Right. Walkers. For which you are here, I presume. It's in the title all the way. Let's find a nice flat area. Usually I just go for a piece of water. But since... oh, there it is. I was gonna say since it's not in sunlight, let's go for desert. But we have a icy desert lake here, so perfect. Alright, and while we slowly fall to earth, let's check the workshop. F10. Stormwalker. Yes. One of the bigger walkers Black Armor made, and currently of course number one of the workshop. So what I'm going to do tonight is take a look at these, well, very excellent designs and see if I can apply them to my own and even improve some of my old ones. Because how he did it is, it's just amazing. Let's see. Ah, nice. It even stands up straight in now. It used to be a bit rotated on its side, or maybe that's after walking, but now it's nice and steady. So it's the Stormwalker, and the other walker, what is it? Well, I have to type in Walker. There we get it. The Sentinel Walker. Yeah, really good job, Black Armor. All right. So it's a small version compared to its big brother. And this was modeled after concept art that was made by someone who actually did some other 2D, 3D renders for Star Wars. Alright. The name eludes me though. So let's start small. We have a leg based out of 1, 2, 3 pieces and a piston. So with the rotor in between, that's 4 pieces per leg. It is actually balanced by these little lights, which give a little bit of detail, but also a little bit of weight, making it unnecessary to use a extra gyroscope other than the one to steer. And making it possible to just walk forward without tipping. So if I remember this correct, that needs to be on, because number 3 is the stop and start cycle. And I have to check what this is. The lights. Oh yeah, of course. Pressing the L button doesn't work anymore, so lights now have to be bound. We see, of course, nice blue lights for the detail. And going 1, which probably started the sequence, and then 2 to actually make it work. And dampeners off, and off it goes. We hear a very nice hissing of the pistons going back and forward. And let's see how fast this thing is actually going. We say while it hampers on its feet. Alright, can we overtake it by running? We can, but only just. I'm faster, you idiot walker. Yeah, they're still clunky, but wow, it already caught up. This is a really fast one, and it goes even faster using the boost. So I'm getting a steady 8 meters a second, pointing it forward a bit. Can go even up to 9. So that's faster than running speed for an average human being. So for a mechanical walker in a game not made for walkers, kudos, very well. Let's see how this works on the inside. We have a timer set up. Oh, there's enough lights here are control panels. Right, okay. So timer set up, a delay of 32 seconds. Good. Yeah, walk rotors. So they all rotate at the same time, making it a very simple piece of engineering. And then pistons and timers. Why does it go to that? Timers. So we have a starting sequence. Probably this is not in seconds, but in milliseconds. Right stopper, left stopper. Precise timer. Set of actions. So we have a programmable block here running and a precise timer triggering. Probably have to call him precise timer or something. Let's see. So if I get this straight, well, we could start with left start. Alright, left start reverses pistons, reverses rotors, and reverses the other foot. It's the left start, opposites to the right. Okay. I think these stoppers are now obsolete. No, they're just a middle action. Or it could be that. I'll ask him for it. Alright. We're all the way here now. All the way from Walker Base Camp over here. Alright, getting in the big 3 turn left. Alright. This keeps it from doing strange maneuvers like this. Like I did it with the mouse, and of course it falls down. Why wouldn't it? Well, that's quite clever actually, just using a override rotor to turn your vehicle. Let's try that again. Just placing a block here to make it go in a grid fashion instead of having to try it for myself. Also handy when you're trying to paste in a station, for example. Let's see, back in it. Actually handy that we have the control panel saying what we can do. Click mouse to fire. Oh, that's a good thing. And we can start rockets. Lights again triggered. I think this is supposed to do something else than just fire a single rocket. Alright, one. Right. It's actually focused into the walking sequence. So when you start the walker, it goes all the way. Right, and then 8 again to stop it. Luckily destruction is off turned in this world, otherwise probably you'll get some bad rep. And hello everybody watching the stream. If you have some questions or just some general remarks, just leave them in the comments. I'll read them. Alright. So that was turning. Of course it's not using our turning mechanism we would see like in this engineer, stepping a bit, putting one foot in front of another, but you can't expect that from this. So I press 1, so that probably activates some sort of walking sequence, and then 2 to make it go. And then can press 5 again, which will disable the walker sequence, putting it on full stop in a forward position, which I think that's how we started. So yeah, it's a full cycle, so it will end its cycle when pressing 5, and then you can press 2 again, because 1 is already enabled. To continue? Oh, you have to turn on 5 of course, and then 2 again. Let's see how many timers are in here. Where are they? They apparently are on a different section of the body. Is this top section actually on a rotor? I'm not sure. Because I thought it was just a merge block, but apparently this could as well be a rotor. Yeah. We have an advanced turret base with limits of 0, 0. Aha! Oh, that's a very interesting development. So now we have a singly walking experience. It just does a bit of a hip swaying, giving us the possibility to rotate our head, of course, but making the walker highly unstable, dropping at the very sight of the first change in behavior. Wheels to keep them from breaking that fast. Okay, cool. Smart use of a rotor, just having it wiggle a bit to make the piston work with the other rotor. Nice. That's the thing, they're not rigid bodies. Right, we can lock that in place again. 0, 0. Our action bar has disappeared. Walk. Right, so it can rotate, but let's not. 1 and 2. And let's see, so the small one goes 8 meters a second. This one goes roughly average of 3. I can actually do a race with the 2, right? Walk. Uh-oh. It's slowly tipping backwards. Very cool. So yeah, it's almost twice the speed, but of course a lot less firepower on such a little cute-esque walker. This is one of the few actual proper walking sequences I've seen in Space Engineers. Usually they just fake it and go full out thrusters, but these just have some thrusters to get them up the hill, which let's try that very soon. We see also that, well, this, of course the speed is a bit lower, but it makes it look more natural. This one still looks a bit like it's like galloping or something, which, well, of course can be done with a small chicken-esque contraption. And we're seeing that actually the grip of the big walker is keeping up with the small walker, giving it some well, actually it's the same speed almost. It's almost catching up here. Walker race. Oh, how exciting. Who will go to the top first? Biggie or Tiny? And they are so much more superior to, well, I guess what I and Leo started all those days ago. Many months even. Which is currently, I think, dysfunctional due to some balance issues. That's looking, yeah. Not sure what his issue is. Just, yeah. Chicka chicka choo. We had the extra handicap of having to use the legs that we wanted to show as the legs of the ATST. Well, these ones are a bit more reliable. More like a chicken indeed. Or any bird. This is land based. Let's try it again. Yeah, no. Heavy head, that's what they call it. I could try to lock the rotor though. Rotor, that's the one. Rotor speed variation module. Rotor neck. Neck lock. Safety override. Okay, there we go. That's not good. Wasn't there supposed to be a limit to those? I think we inferred the limit long ago, but apparently that didn't stick. Not good. Or gyroscopes, I think. That's actually what Black Armor showed me. Like, well, just put on some self-steering gyroscopes in front of the head. Yeah, that's not good. It will not come upright anymore. And we see that our two others have found the wall and tried to climb it. Well, let's try to climb it with atmospheric engines. Go, 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 Walker, go! It's just a wall! I think it needs a bit more power to steer up a ramp like this. It's not enough grip, I tell you. However, without repasting it or trying some weird methods, this can go up this little slope. Let's see if it can actually go up the slope when also without helping it with a engine. Okay, it's down, slowly turning around. As I suspected, it is stable and it tries to go up, but then it will slightly flatten out. Yeah. The minus slope is just a bit too high without any help of a atmospheric engine. So when we turn the dampeners on, will that help? Probably need to give it a little push so it actually goes forward again. Yeah, no, there's just not enough friction in the grass, groundy stuff and the legs and wheels to make it work. So what we have to do is increase the speed just a little bit. Like just give 3 bursts of air and then it will go up again. Pointing it forward and off it goes for its next adventure, the other side of the lake. And this one, well, what can I tell you? Yeah, no, that's a lost cause. Once fallen over, other than the little walker, this one stays down. It's just way too high to get a big body like that in the air. But hell, that's that without issue, without me helping it one bit, it came from one end of the lake to the other, and will be able to return from whence it came. Alright. Let's see. So, on modifying this. Hello ATST. Yeah. I know you're called Final Walker, but it's probably not the case anymore. As Mr. Steampunk ATPT here will gladly show you. Ah, he's so happy. What a happy little walker. Okay, we stop now. 3. Hey. And done. Back on its feet. Stopped already. Let's start modifying it to our needs. Those are actually very nice. Well, they're, let's get the walk in there. Actually cool trick my friend Commander Shepard showed me is how to get smoking engines, and of course that is with the use of fire. And I think probably ground down wheels won't work, but let's try it anyway. Need a precise rifle, and let's just try these first. Probably will just disappear instead of destroy. Or does it do with a drill? That's also possible. No. I'll be right back when I turn destruction off or on. Yes, save changes. It's handy when you want to destruct something that you can actually destruct something. I just grew infuriated with accidentally breaking stuff, so I removed destruction. But let's put it on again. That's fine. And I'll just quickly show what mods I'm using to make Space Engines look like it does. Clean armor. Ah, my favorite. One of the best. There we go. It was on number 1 page for a while, but here we have it. Daji, and then a smiley face with major apple pie, fixing all the weird black lines we have in the current iteration of the build of Space Engineers. Then invisible armor edges, probably most of you are known with this. Realistic thrusters, so actually offsetting force depending on where you put a thruster. I just do this for fun, like most of my creations will work without this mod enabled, but I just think it's an extra bit of gameplay you get out of it. Aerodynamic physics, of course, for deadly re-entry, burning up while you go way too fast, and being able to fly on planets without the use of the wing block, and then a skybox to your liking. Less stars, no nebulas is a good one, but recently I took up the Atlantis skybox, which I also really like, so I'll just put that in for the sake of it. And let's load the spaceport once more. Yes. So, on the question of how the Star Citizen buildings are coming on, they are coming. What I set out last stream did not pan out quite as much. And I went a bit off with the little Argo cruisers we saw at the start of the stream. And I did some work on the Carrack, the Aegis Carrack was, well, will be my first new style frigate. As well, although it looks very blocky, it's really a tough build to get right, and I just want to show people that a lot is able with these large blocks, even if you don't have all the shapes and sizes you want. No, the Cartual is probably staying out for a little while longer while I figure out how I want to do that. If it actually will be on rotors, which it might, don't get me wrong. But for now I'll just stick with a few humanoid ships before I'm going back to that. Also glass canopy. Alright, we are in the T position. I can get the Cartual, which this one. Hello. Tonight we're finishing up. Well, no, we're starting with walkers, and that's not a walker. That's something I did last stream, and no, it's just no. Maybe I have to go back to the 2x the double middle section, which you cut out at first, but probably it will be beneficial to this front nasal section. I'm not sure even what it is anymore. That's just creepy. Like a big bug. Because this thing has all these 4 big limbs on rotors and pistons and whatnot. Then these 2 wings are also retractable. Then this section rotates differently from the whole central spine section. And I believe we even have a flappy thing over here that goes places. Ah, but now I can destroy it again. Good. There we go. Ah. Alright. So what I was trying to say is probably you can get an extra effect from wheels by shooting them, but not when they're in construction state. So constructing the wheel fully and then shoot, there we go. Hey, a smoky pipe. What do you know? These things go away, right? When you're like keep firing on something, they will be removed, or is it per grid that they are saved? This is cool and all. You don't want that on your... Well, I guess it's battle damage, right? Can we... No, we can't remove it. Let's not get the elite one, but the regular one. Go. Oh, it's gone. But it's not smoking. Maybe the drill. Nope. Last try. Oh, that works. There we go. A smoky bacon walker. Ow! I wasn't even touching it. Walker. Let's try that again. So we have to finish these completely. And then I think the drill will do an area. So if we start in the middle. Yeah, it's too dangerous. So probably guns is the way to go. The Mustang you have. Somebody in chat says he both owns the Cartual and the Mustang Delta. Well, I built the Mustang a long time ago. I remember that one. It was in my original hangar, which was out before hangars were even accessible to the public. I only saw it in a few videos. And I thought, damn, that Mustang is special. I need it to be built. It's funny that I'm shooting there, but it actually comes indeed over there. We need some bit of offset, Space Engineers, otherwise your FPS is not really that FPSy. Alright. Smoky. And if you paste it in, I think it keeps smoking, right? Nice. Well, there we go. And off you go, walkie walk. To settle in again. Yeah, nice. Lovely. Of course, bit of a sore eye when you're having a black top on a silver rim, but I guess it's a trade-off. Alright. To the Star Citizen build. Star Citizen. What do we want? Let's just line up my latest builds and give them a look. And also compare them to what was recently on the workshop as the best one yet. And although I always want to see other people build as well as possibly as possible, they usually overlook quite a bit of detail. So this one, we have the not the Mustang. Do I have a Mustang? No. Star Citizen, Buccaneer, the Razor, recently again updated to be actually symmetrical. I made a mistake leaving one of the thrusters on the side not mirrored. Mustang, and we have the Drake Heralds. Good. So the three different kinds of classes of ships, but I think I spent roughly the same time on the Drake as I did on the Razor, which is both in an afternoon, and then this other ship is more or less a full evening plus the afternoon. And of course the landing gear brakes, because why not? Alright. So well, there's supposed to be landing gear there. Blocks are too weak. This is full solid blocks of steel, and still a simple bump will keep them out of your fun enjoyment. I don't know the words. Alright, controls. Custom data? No, I don't want custom data, I want control. Funny bug currently with Space Engineers, you can't actually hold Alt to look around when you're in a seat and controlling a ship. So keep that in mind when trying to do something like this. You're always stuck to the right front view or the right back view. And let's take this one for a flight. Dampeners on. As we are in atmospheric conditions, we can actually turn them off and float. I said crashing into the bottom. When gathering enough speed, exactly, we don't need thrusters anymore. And with the alright, that was safe. We ejected. Good, let's start it again. That is the competitor, the other Drake. Which is quite a bit larger even, I think. Making it, of course, better to fly with, but also consuming a whole lot more of oxygen in the process, as you have double the amount of thrusters going into it. Remote control. Right, with remote control. Here we go. What this one has though is that it has the dual seat, which we see in trailers. That's how? I just apparently engineers touching a ship is not good for business. Dragonfly. Tune, 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 tune. Right, let's try it again. Dampers off. Okay. Now I wish I also could show you the build Commander Shepard did, which we also made one, which is more of a hovercraft idea with wheels on the bottom, making it more useful in the planetary environment, but not in space. And I wanted to also let this work in space, which it does in lore, so I needed that. Right, we go here, we see of course new material lights, then the only engines are over here, which are in lore the anti-gravity drives, keeping it afloat above ground. Very much similar to what pod racers would use, but that's a different universe. And actually in lore, all these engines actually rotate inwards and outwards to give it more maneuverability on the floor, on the ground, which it will then deploy like this, and then in space it will more, well, retract a bit like this, I guess, or probably a bit rotated. What happened there? Something exploded. I was sure of it. And I'm hearing questions on what mod I am using for the hydrogen. I'm not sure if I can follow. This is a vanilla world. The hydrogen is actually coming out of this oxygen generator. Not a lot of people know that actually, but you can just hook up an oxygen generator to a ship, and if you connect it just to the piping system, it will generate hydrogen, because it of course runs on water, splitting it into the molecules hydrogen and oxygen. So that's just that thing. Probably the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing going on here. This one is a dual reactor version of it. Oh no, it's just a downward pointed one. So this one goes on the piping system below, feeding it through the connector over here. Also a welcome attachment to any space engineer ship where you don't have landing gears, but oh well. Usually I put the landing gear on my big ships and just park my small ones on there, and then using big lights. So yeah, but I was looking at this and I thought this whole section might as well be reverted, but I then noticed that when you do that, this whole section looks a bit odd and off. So I didn't want that. So that was that. It was the best one on the workshop thus far, so still kudos to the creator of it. I just have my own take on things, and I really want them to look from a distance exactly the same as we see in Star Citizen. All up to the color scheme, which I also had a alternative color scheme for. I think number 1. No. That's that one. Probably this one. Yes. So this one was more in line with my Drake Herald. The more red, white, black version. As that's probably also what I will paint my Caterpillar in. Actually this Herald is based on the Caterpillar. And I thought it was a nice nice change of color from the standard yellow to the more racing sportsy colors, with even the green detail on the bottom, which is shown back in usually the interior of these larger ships, which I will be going to shortly. So yeah, I think I prefer this color scheme, but for the sake of accuracy and honoring the concept artwork of our people at RSI, which is a disease in Dutch, but oh well. Never mind. Alright, that was the Dragonfly. Having a comment on Joel. Fixing rotors and pistons, because every time I place something in my game it just explodes in a dramatic manner. Well, that's what you get. I believe in the latest build of what is called the dev branch, depending on where you come from, where you're home from. They said they improved the stability. I saw wasted space tentacle creation earlier today, and I was like, yeah, that looks fixed. That looks good. Not really, but oh well. This is they will get there, guys, someday, and I hope it it will be before we have the full game out. Stating how it is very important for engineering to actually have your engineering tools available to you. Alright. Are we just floating? We are. We are floating upwards. So this is the racer, the exploding racer. I'm a terrible pilot, as you can see. That's why I don't play this game. I just built for it. Change of scenery, as we're not currently walking. We don't need the flat ground of grassy, watery stuff. Comment on watching what the Strand Beast does, which is actually a Dutch designer who made the original one. That's why it's called a beach beast, strand based in my language, which works in the wind. So it's an automaton using nothing but green energy. And Space Engineers, it works on nuclear fuel. Yay! Good contrast, I must say. Alright. That is still a good build. What am I looking for? The razor. Oh, it's not a razor like the ones from your keyboard, but a razor like the one from your chin. I'm hearing word of the Strand Beast actually working on Dev Branch. That's good. Alright. Let's take this for a spin and see the speed. Already 100, 200 meters a second. Using airflow to actually steer this. And probably has to rotate and then change your direction upwards to steer, which I actually like a lot more than trying to do this, and which you would not do in an airplane. And this is the way airplanes usually rotate and turn, which is still can do very well in atmosphere. So that's proper aerodynamics for you. Alright, but let's try to get the top speed with this one, see how aerodynamic it actually is. In Star Citizen, I think, it's not out yet, but with the other M50, which goes around almost 1,000, I guess, with boosters enabled. This one should also get there, and I hope before we burn up. Okay, 320. Now I just needed speed counter, I guess, on the front of my ship. 350. And this is in atmosphere. We're seeing our heat levels steadily rise. Let's adjust for that mountain. But 3 seems a bit to be one of the higher speeds. Yeah, 350 coming up, 350, 360. Good. Yeah, going a bit higher in atmosphere, so we have less drag holding us back. Again, 400. 400, and if I try to steer now, we see that, okay, this is me fully steering. And now we of course are slowed down again. That was really hard to steer. Dampeners on and pointing us down because of how that works with the offset thrusters. Alright, plummeting to the ground, but as we pull up, air will keep us from dipping down too much and keeping us always pointing forward while we increase our heat again. So it's not burning up, that's good. And we could easily attain velocity to escape the atmosphere. So what else to do than go out with a bang. So we will obliterated. It's nowhere to be seen actually. Alright. So that was the Racer. Now I wonder, will the Dragonfly also get to that speed? Or will it even go higher than that speed? Controls. Control. Dampeners off. Small issue with this one is that the thrusters are a bit offset to the bottom, so it will tip slightly up, so you have to countermeasure that with your own steering. But as we pick up speed, the wind will keep us in line with what usually will pull us up. So going 200 now. The ship is quite a bit lighter as this is really minimalistic on its armor blocks, and most of it are functional blocks. So definitely high speed vehicle. 200. It seems to be stuck at that speed, which is oh, nice. Just a good old building with a can actually do nothing and just skipping that window. Alright, so this one is more or less the 220 mark. And putting on dampeners. It would stop on a dime, I would say, yes. And dampeners off, and we just gradually flow towards the Earth. Still going 60 meters a second. Picking up speed. I like this. And this is what we get when actually using atmospheric mods. So what mods am I using? You can watch back in the stream, of course. I've noticed it before, but I'm using the deadly reentry mod for and ejected again, good. Deadly reentry to make things fly in atmosphere. The let's see, clean armor, so we don't have the black lines on our armor. Armor edges removed, so we don't have our ugly grey lines. Then speed mod, which increases our speed for small ships to 1000 and large ship to 500. You could go up anyway, like even infinite will be fine, because well, that's how the real world works. Although usually for gameplay reasons you don't want to go over 500, maybe higher in space, but 500 is fine, otherwise you'll burn up anyway. And then the skybox, which I haven't shown yet because we're always in atmosphere. Hey, ooh, blue nebulas, very nice nebulas. Alright, we'll see plenty of that when I return to building, finishing those little Argo pods. Right. So yeah, no block mods still used. You may know me by now. That I've done my fair share of modding in the past, as we can see in this build over here, the Bossy Baranta pod racer, and this one, the Dud Bolt, which they look perfect. Like, don't get me wrong, it gives so much extra possibilities and accuracy when building ships with these extra blocks, but well, I never got to finishing them because well, they just took 4 days a piece to finish. Because then you think, is this the right one? I think not, let's try another block, and then you go up and you take a while, and then all of a sudden you lose interest in the project. Let's see. Our last one, the Drake Air Herald. And I welcome everybody who entered the stream again. Welcome back to Perfect Space Industries, where we do Star Citizen builds tonight and perhaps some Walker goodness, at least looking at them, and perhaps next time I'll have my good friend Black Alma in here. Alright, the Herald. This is the info runner of Star Citizen, with of course its info hidden in these timer blocks, I guess. You could store some information in there. I don't think it's a whole lot in Space Engineers. And 2 massive engines. How else they won't produce more than the 2 regular hydrogen engines. But oh well, they look super cool. And again, this thing broke off. Keen. Then this ship started out asymmetrical, which I did start a build of a few patches back. Let's say before armor ramps came out, huh? But they changed that, and that's why I stopped building that, and now we're returning, and it's flyable in the PTU now, so that's why I want to make it before it gets taken by somebody else who wants to make it. I want to be first. And I'm getting comments on that it looks like a firefly. Well, I guess I can see where you're coming from. It was indeed, I also think it's like a bug, and in flight more or less looks like a space whale with its tiny fins. Like, look at that, that's a whale of some description, perhaps even more so. So this is a very, very organic looking ship. and a bit out of whack for Drake Interplanetary, but I guess in lore they can make sense of it. Interior is not spoiled yet, I think. I didn't see it yet, so I might be wrong, and I might have to do it in a bit. That's why there's no official video on this ship yet, because it's just a impression interior with just the engine section bit opened back here. No real detail I'll put in here other than some lights and a seat for the information station and the interior cockpit, so you can get in there without having to go outside first if you want to fly the ship in a hurry, which is a bit too lore, but I'm not sure if there is actually two. Alright, and then we get our glitching happening again. We see here landing gears not actually connecting properly, even our armor pushing down into the floor. So I'm not sure what kind of issue that is with or the ship or planets. It doesn't seem to have a collision. Well, let's take her for a spin, sort of. We just have to push upwards. Sort of. It used to fly. Oh, just turn off dampness. Right. And there we go. We retracted our landing gear space engineer style and flies off. And we see it getting to speed 150 now. Up and above. I think this will be faster than the Dragonfly, which it should. Two large engines should be stronger. And it's more streamlined than it too. So maybe this will even outperform the 400 meters a second Razor. I'll doubt it though. It's like topping off now at 230, 250 probably. And I see a comment on it needs a big wing on one of the sides. And well, you might be interested that was originally the design. And that one wing with ordnance on one side and one big dish with a antenna and whatnot on the other. So it actually could transmit its data to a station when in hyperspace, I believe. So that was cool. But they decided it was not Drake-like, while the Caterpillar is asymmetrical, so they refrained from it, and now it just has two tiny wings. I'm cute, I have tiny wings. Yeah, 260 is the max speed, so slightly better than the hoverbike. And let's just clip off our other landing gear now. Do I have that precision? Not while we're freezing. Ah, almost. Damn it. I wanted to just clip it off. Well, I guess we have to fly off to space now. Or into the ground. Do a trench run with the mountains. Somehow I always end up in a trench in a mountain, trying to figure out if I can actually maneuver through them. Right, there we go. Aerodynamics help me. They do. Really slowly turning. The wings actually provide quite a bit of stability in air, which I guess they are there for then. Just having these big rockets propel it forward enough to not need lift as much as normal airplanes, and then just having these fins to be maneuvering fins like the tail fin on a regular airplane would be used for. Yeah. So it's quite a nice ship, especially from the back. It's just a nice overall look, and it will serve you well in the universe when you have to outrun those nasty space cops. Right, and we're out. Help me! I don't want to die. And there we go. Oh, damn. It was so fast that it imploded on itself and ruptured the fuel tanks. Now stumbling down the mountain. Yeah, that didn't hold up very well. At 240 hitting a rock. I guess that is what we could expect. Tumbling down to oblivion. Okay. Top of a mountain. What shall we do next? I guess I haven't tested my actual little Argo pods in. What did I call him? Did I not save him? That would be not smart, Rob. No, that's not it. Biggest grids. That can go. That's that thing that can go. Yeah, there we are. Okay. Let's try it out for size. So these things actually don't have any hard points. So one of the first ships. Did I stick it in the ground? Of course I stuck it in the ground. There we go. It's locked into place. Free to disengage. And there we are. Oh, this really tumbles down due to the extra mass being on the bottom and the thrusters being all the way on top. Maybe we just should disconnect the merge block. Bombing run. Right. We can try it again. Is it in the ground again? Yep. Okay. Okay. I get it, space engineers. You're a tough read. Okay, then. That isn't in the ground. Oh, but it is. Yeah, okay. So I should first turn on dampness, then have the merge blocks in my. I think it's the first one, right? It's both two. And then convert to ship. Yeah. Alright. Let's try this again. Ooh. And I am not Danish, guys. I am Dutch. That's very close indeed, but not the same. Alright. Bomb run. I turned it off. So probably this build still has a block linked to its what's happening here? They should rotate now, but they don't. Some weird witchery is going on here. Last time it was the thruster that's actually hitting the side of the cargo container. It's not. Just the wrong merge block turned off? Yeah, it was the merge block. Let's see if it still flies. Sort of getting there. Good. So these are the working bees of the Star Citizen universe. Taking quite a beating for now, but they will get the job done, and probably we'll see a lot of them just populating the cities and transporting people and cargo for the general public, not the people who actually buy their own ships like all us players will do. We can consider ourselves elite, I think. And I welcome also more people to the stream. Alright, I'm getting a quick cup of tea.